Hello, this is Dr. Mia Luth. Today is Saturday, 30th, 10/29, 2022, 11:49 a.m. Eastern Time. Mostly clear skies. Um, the weather has gotten colder quickly, so all these things that people who live in temperate regions that are, like in Maryland, we experience all four distinct seasons, and so yeah, there's like, yep, time to get the the box of winter clothes and yeah, take them out and then put away the summer spring clothes, which is what I've been doing. Um, I guess there's some people who get a little frustrated online or annoyed or whatever when they can't get what they want. And some people need to be a little more aware that badgering and bullying someone online, if someone does not have what it is you want, then what are you doing? Okay. Uh, I'm more cautious online than a lot of people because I've been an internet user for a very long time. Since, at least at home late 80s. Okay. So there's some of us who do remember a time where there wasn't as much bullying, badgering, pushing, lying, cheating. You know, you see what I'm trying to get at? We could just have conversation online and not get yelled at and not be told that we just wasted a vote and not be told that we need to be something we aren't. I can't be something I'm not. And I am not transitioning from male or female to male. So none of that stuff going on with me anyway. I don't know what it's like because you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people have different situations at different times in their life. Well, kind of maybe not really know how to handle it. And sometimes it can take weeks, months, years to process certain damage in your life. Okay. So certain things just don't happen overnight. A lot of things having to do with Earth and humans in this world don't happen overnight. Um, I'm not going to apologize to anybody for being extra cautious online. Some people, it might frustrate some people because they don't understand some of the dangers. And I just can't let that doesn't affect the fact that I'm still going to be cautious online. Um, but they're good, decent people online. Trust me. Okay. Yeah. Some of them are not like criminals or people trying to bilk you for money. Sometimes that's not the case at all. Okay. Or telling you that they have I'm not telling anybody I got a nonprofit. Because I just decided that that's what it was. Okay. Yep. filled out the paperwork. I really couldn't afford someone to do that for me. I mean, that's just how it is. Point blank. It happens sometimes. So no one should ever be bullied or harassed or told that they are less than or told that, they have to do something to earn money that they don't want to do or that they can't do or they have no interest in. Right. So I'm an adult, people. I don't care what I look like. 50 years. And I've had at least, what was that? Made 30 years at least on the internet. At least. Um, I'm not that desperate for anything. So there are some people who will sometimes use someone else's picture and, you know, maybe look for people who seem vulnerable online and who are, want to be in a relationship or think that, yes, see, there's things. And then, sometimes it turns out that, the picture that was used was not that, it just stole somebody's picture. You see what I'm trying to say? And then use them. And yeah. So nobody's going to have success trying to guilt me into or forcing me to or exactly. I don't give a shit if you don't love me because I don't have money for you, is my point. Right. Exactly. My ministry is for certain purposes set up that way. And, the fund has not been built quite yet in order to send out applications or any other kind of thing in order to, yes, it's not quite usable yet. And I can't justify for any reason in my books, accounting, whatever, certain requests that have been made to me. And I'm accountable for those things. Um, I mean, I put in at least 20 grand just trying to rescue cats, get them to the vet, even if I knew maybe I wouldn't be keeping them, but at least, right, getting them there and, looking out for them and socializing them. And then, sometimes I can, of course, they stay with me some, but some of them, they're easier to adopt if they've been vetted and they've been socialized. Get it? So even if at a certain point I do have to, take them to a no-kill or a specific cat shelter, right, they're going to be way better off because they've already been vetted. And then the shelter doesn't have to pay for any of that. You understand what I'm saying? Right? They don't have to pay for the vet costs. They're up to, and also, you know, every cat that I've had almost has been around another cat. So, they've been socialized with another cat, which is also good when you absolutely just don't have a choice but to take it to like a cat rescue, no kill, something like that. You know, that way they're more comfortable and they might find a little friend and they might fit into the population a little better. And it does save a lot of time, money, and effort for the cat no kill cat rescue because they don't have to do all that. The reason I'm able to do that is because I'm an actual, by schooling, animal behaviorist. You understand? I don't experiment on animals. So people need to settle down and stop falsely accusing people. I mean, I do that normal and natural in my everyday anyway. But definitely for no kill cat shelters, anybody who can try to keep a cat out of shelter. Okay. I will sometimes, yes, people will get pets and they're like, oh, it's so great, but then they can't take care of them. And then, right, people like me end up with great expense and time and effort in order to, right, maneuver cats in the least stressful way that I can manage. But I will pay for vet costs for cats that haven't, um, and get them socialized and get them used to people and whatever else needs to happen. But sometimes just money or a landlord doesn't really want animals, or they change their mind, or whatever the case may be. So by the time I have to call, like for cats specifically, a cat shelter, no kill cat shelter adoption, it's like do or die. I wait for as long as I can to do that. But I also do the work to socialize them, get them used to certain things. I get them vetted. And so by the time they get there, you know, no matter what age they are, they're pretty much ready for adoption. Right. And then, yes, the shelters don't need to, spend the resources. It helps them. So there's a whole bunch of ways to do some things, but, I've had cats come in and out of my life where somebody moved and they couldn't take them with them. And it's just like, oh, great. Well, fine. I'll take them and work with them and get to know them. And some of them will stay with me. Okay, that's fine. But I have to, like, my own resources and budget and everything. If it's not going to fit, I'm not going to push it. Okay. But I also take the time to at least get to know someone a little bit. If they they want a cat, to get to know them and make sure that they know certain things, and, you know, right, get them as much information as I can. This is happening because I haven't eaten. Give me a sec. Sorry about that. Also had to visit the bathroom. And I did wash my hands, people, every time. Every single time. Even if it's just pee. Like these are dental balance breaks. I know I talked about them, but they're great for on the go, and the packaging is recyclable. Okay, this part isn't. It's thin, so probably degrades a little easier. But the package is recyclable, and it's like good for just if for people who have you know nausea from where sometimes big meals is just so hard sometimes to try and just get food in. But so these are like little bites on them. If I have to, just chew it up until it's basically liquid, and then I'm getting some kind of nutrition. And so I will have issues with that sometimes. Just plain not hungry. Like I couldn't eat food if and that's not something that I can really allow to have happen. But it does happen. And certain medications like pain meds sometimes cause nausea. I always get the nausea. I always get the nausea from certain pain meds. So obviously eating the pain meds is something that must happen. To be honest, I'd rather just sometimes just go out to local little restaurant or bistro or coffee and spend a little money and just get something that somebody's already made that's easy. I would like to have the money to do that. Right? I don't have that right now. So, you know, but for people who experience nausea from either medications or medical treatments or something else, I've had that situation on and off through my life. So I've had some practice, okay? And I can say that little things like this, like don't try and eat a whole sandwich sometimes, people, because you might not, but carrying a little bit down helps. That's another reason that I eat yogurt. And now I only eat the Greek yogurt. It's thicker. And it's got gelatin in it, which is why it's thicker. But it's a little bit heartier too for yogurt. Okay, and it helps coat the stomach for meds. And there's plenty of it where there's no sugar or no added sugar or lower calorie. There's something called Too Good, TWO. There's a few that have lower carb content. So there are some choices depending on how. For medication, I'll have the Greek yogurt is very helpful. It's not like you're eating whole food, like solid food, but It's enough to help stop nausea from medications anyway. Helps coat the stomach, and then your medications have something to attach to. You need food. If you take multivitamins, you have to eat something so that vitamin has something to bond to in your body. Otherwise, it's not anywhere as useful to you as you are thinking. Um, so there's different kinds of yogurt that have different like features, but there's actually low carb uh, Greek yogurt too. Um, when I can afford it and I can find it, I try and buy it, and I like it. It's not always the case, and anybody who went shopping through COVID, especially at the beginning, is like, well, you pretty much like whatever's on the shelves is pretty. You gotta dig it right. So that was difficult for people on special diets, certain health considerations. Um, so there's different flavors. I usually just go with vanilla because sometimes I'll make a smoothie out of it, or you know, whatever. And so vanilla is always a good smoothie flavor for me. So it goes with everything, basically, the gist of it. So, right. But then it's not quite as sour as just plain straight yogurt. But yeah, the Greek yogurt, a cup, like a serving size cup, is enough to take medications with. Some people can't do the lactose, certain, but for people who have a hard time eating just like a whole meal, or the thought of a sandwich is like, oh god, oh no, you see what I'm saying? Right? Meds do that. Certain types of medical illnesses will do that. Um, and I have had good success with Greek yogurt. And I've been able to find Greek yogurt that's not like ridiculously high calorie. Okay, but you do need calories though. Right? Right. You don't want to go through a 0 calorie day, people. Okay? Because that messes you up really badly. Yeah. But trying to, lower it, that can take a little time. And what your body likes and what your body can handle and tolerate may be very different from one person to the next. So, but I will wholeheartedly, happily recommend that for people who can't really eat like whole solid food, just to, but for meds, it works great. Okay. So, I mean, there are ways to do it. Only if you're really just feeling kind of, what can happen with depression just by itself, but even that, still gotta eat, man. I know it's hard. I've been through that one before. Okay, but I didn't really need to go to a bunch of doctors, and I didn't need to stress, you understand, about it. I just knew, so I would eat like small little things, like a bag of something, or, you know, a few olives and a few nuts and a few pieces of cheese, and right, just and like a deli slice of some kind of meat. Okay, just chew it until it just goes down. Okay, because then you are getting nutrition in you. And if you just leave it in your mouth and you let it just kind of, by the time it gets down here, okay, I never, ever, ever have like it alleviates nausea, hunger pangs, and helps keep medication and other things useful in your body. Taking medications without food can, number one, actually end your life if you keep going that way. This is true. All right. But that's extreme. So don't get there. Okay. Try to, like, so if you know you're depressed and there's every good reason, okay, try to be careful with your own self and don't let anybody push and shove you too much because how you recover and how you grieve could be different. Um, but food cannot be skipped. I don't care how bad somebody wants to lose weight. I don't care what any of that crap is. Okay? That makes no difference. You still have to get nutrition in your body every single day. And sometimes it does have to be whole food, not just liquid. Okay? So people with a certain kind of medication. I mean, I don't have a choice about that particular medication. And I know the effects, so I found some cereals that are generally healthier, and because they're so nutrition packed, you don't need to eat like a big bowl, right? Um, I'm trying to think of the name. Hang on, I got the box. As I said, gratefully, the supplemental nutrition plan that helps people purchase food. Um, COVID related situations started. Walmart and Amazon will also take supplemental nutrition, your food legacy food stamp card. Okay. And that's been extremely helpful for me because, you know, I have to be really careful about certain things. So since I have now more choices for a specific kind of diet now. Okay. But I definitely just purely Elizabeth. Okay. Um, I like the vanilla almond grain free granola. It is low carb. Well, it might be keto, but like I said, never ever do a keto diet without having a physician involved. Ever, never. Because it can actually start to give you what appears to be diabetes. And, right, so then how that gets handled is going to be different from someone who actually has diabetes, not based on, okay. And so this is something you do with extreme caution. Don't just go online and be like, oh, hey, I can do it. No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. You can mess it up really badly for yourself. And so I don't want that. But I do love the Purely Elizabeth products for that reason. Okay. And the bags look small, right? It doesn't look like you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, but you can't go by that. And yes, I have tested these statements, people. And I did try another type. I can't remember what the flavor was, but I like the vanilla almond. And almonds are good for low carb. They're good for protein. Um, yeah, and they're kind of a little bit like a superfood. Okay, so this one has MCT oil. I'm not worried about that one way. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not making any statement about that. It's not the reason I bought it anyway. But it's 8 ounces, so it doesn't look like regular cereal bag. It looks like, oh my god, I pay that. But the thing is okay, it's baked in coconut oil, and it's got coconut sugar, so it does have sugar, but it's only 4 grams added sugar. And so when you're looking at it, like, it's got 0 cholesterol, but it is high fat because of the way certain low carb diets are based. Okay? But that's okay. Like, that's good fat for you. But this one does have added sugars. So those who have to be careful about that. But 1/3 cup seems like a small amount. However, this is power packed nutrition densely. Right? So I'm totally satisfied. I do a half cup because I'm an adult and other, yeah. All right, you understand your own nutritional needs. You might have to, so I do half a cup, and I'm perfectly. It does say keto certified. You understand? So, but don't just go keto if you do not have some kind of physician who's aware of that. You understand? Because if they don't know that, then diagnosing diabetes for them might be a little difficult. Okay? And also how your body reacts. So I just do low carb when I can. And this is considered low carb. But you can put it like in smoothies. Yogurt, it's good in yogurt. I haven't done that, but for a good breakfast to get me some energy through the day and to take my medication, it's worth the money because you're only going to eat like a half cup of this, and it's power packed. So you don't need a big bowl or something, okay, with not a lot of nutrition value. This whole bag is, if I ate cereal every single day for breakfast, half cup, like, this whole bag would last me a full week. And half cup actually does the trick. Like, I feel full. I'm good to go. I got some power food in me. I'm not nauseous. You understand? So I am glad that this kind of product is available to me, even though I have supplemental nutrition money, because it's just healthier and it helps me get that good start to the day. I'm fully satisfied with 1/2 cup. And I use almond milk now. Mostly because I like cow milk. It's just that sometimes cow milk doesn't like me. Right. So I I do almond milk. And I like the unsweetened vanilla. It's like it's like a nice little treat for the mouth that's healthy. Right? So you don't have to have like boring cardboard food. Okay? Of course I do everything unsweetened. But I appreciate that I can get this, and I'm appreciative of the fact that someone makes a product like this because it really does cover a lot of nutritional needs in like a 1/2 cup. So I don't feel hungry after a 1/2 cup. Oh, I can go several hours, you know what I mean? So it may seem expensive for the size, but you do have to keep in mind that, yeah, if I eat cereal for an entire 7 days every morning, I could go a week with this, at least. So, um, I figured I'd just share that. And also kind of remind people, please don't do a keto diet by yourself. Okay? Get a certified nutritionist or your general practitioner. At least let them know. Okay? Because so when they are doing any kind of A1C, they might need to look at that differently if they know that you are trying to do a keto diet. And that can help the situation greatly. And it's good because that's something doctors need to know. Okay? And some people maybe are on it and there's something else you don't know about. And if you right, I mean, it can get dangerously bad. Okay? Keto can. Okay, the low carb is not the same as keto. Right? Um I do occasionally I was occasionally getting the what's it, the low carb, the hell? I can't remember the damn name of it. Anyway, occasionally, like you can have little snacks and stuff. So for some people try to stay 20 or fewer carbs. I can't do that because of my medical conditions. But I can keep it close to 50, which is a lot better than, yes, a lot of other, yeah, thing. So I can at least try to not gain weight. Even though I can't exercise like really physically like other people can. And I get good nutrition. Um, so I've gotten used to these days just kind of nibbling on little things throughout the day to try and keep it like stabilized. But I don't get that right every day because I just quite literally can't. Um, but for nausea, people who are on treatments, people who are taking certain meds, I've always had good situations with Greek yogurt and medications. hmm It's substantial enough, right? Um, but it also helps your belly, and it kind of coats it a little. So some of these meds aren't doing this. Yeah. So I'm glad that the decision was made to allow people to use their SNAP, their supplemental food online, because that's providing me an easier way for me to get healthier food. You understand? That may not be available locally where I go shopping. And because I go shopping locally, but not everybody carries everything. And you're purely Elizabeth has but that's not food stamp people. I don't this. I think I paid cash. You understand? Sometimes I will pay cash, which is what some people who run the SNAP program should know, that there are times when illness and special diets and other things that, yeah, it doesn't always cover what you need. But for, I don't know, whatever this cost me, it's worth it. Because quite literally, if I only had that in my house for breakfast, okay, this could last me 3 weeks. And I'm getting power pack, good, low carb nutrition that gives me strength and energy, that I know is good for me. So sometimes there's stuff that's not. I'm pretty sure I paid for cash for that, regardless. Like, there are sometimes food items that, even with the ability to use the supplemental nutrition program, just aren't covered. And that becomes an issue for people who have serious conditions, is all I'm saying. Um, but usually I look around and, yeah, I mean, I can eke something out, but it takes a lot of planning, you understand? So for people who really, like, if you can afford it, get it. Okay. Um, and then well, I mean, I don't always eat cereal for breakfast, so it's gonna last me longer. But I can sometimes, maybe I eat it at night, or for dinner, or for lunch. I probably wouldn't eat it for dinner, because probably after dinner I'm gonna probably want to be settling down for sleep. So, but lunch or breakfast or snack, it's power food. Okay. So I recommend it, but I will not ever tell anybody doing keto on their own. It's unwise, and you're actually not providing people with the proper information to be able to assess anything diabetic, or right, to always tell someone who prescribes you medication. Get it? And they may tell you not to do it, but they may recommend something else. So low carb is not as dangerous as keto. All right. Um, but there are more options now. So if you use supplemental and you didn't know that, well, yeah, you do your local grocery, but right, I can't find that readily sometimes, and especially not the flavor, right? But if I go online, and sometimes you don't have to pay for shipping, okay, if you plan like once a month, right? When I first get my money, I buy those things I know, either in bulk or whatever that I'm going to use, and any specialty food items. As long, yeah, a lot of times if you spend, what is it, 25 on Amazon, then you get free shipping. So you plan it so that you're buying enough that you're going to use for real to get free shipping. So then you don't have to pay that out of pocket. So there's more options now for healthier food, and you know, simpler ways to get it to you. Um, so that's good news. Um, and that's why I'm grateful, because my nutritional needs, you know, just using the SNAP card locally does not provide me with appropriate nutrition and items that I can eat that are healthy and don't cause me further issue. So I appreciate that greatly. That I have some options. Yeah. Um, and so if I'm planning with my budget, I know, okay, well, pretty much all my food is covered except for like two things that cost this much money. So I plan ahead, get it? That's part of my monthly budget extra, because nutrition, food, medication. Yeah. But I would not be using supplemental nutrition plan if I didn't absolutely positively have to. You get what I'm trying to say? Right. It's not a pride thing. It's just I need to eat food. And those of us with special conditions or special diets or other kind of things or other medications, you know, it can be harder for us to, find healthier options that are suitable. But Greek yogurt every single time has done me right when it comes to taking medications anyway. I can say that much. The regular yogurt, it's not as substantial. Okay, but the Greek yogurt is a little more substantial in the belly. And so it's really, really good for cutting back on nausea that is sometimes caused by certain medications. And it's a good, cup. It's a good meal. So there are a lot of people who haven't been through some stuff, and that's fine. I'm not trying to say anything, but those of us who have, sometimes you really want to try and talk to people who do it every day and have to go through it every day and have tried things and have had some success, and right. And some people get really obsessed with their weight. I do not ever. I don't even have a scale in my house. I have a scale for my, it's a kitchen scale, but I use it for the, previously using it for the Etsy mail weight. But I don't, okay? I mean, that can get really harmful. And so I don't do that, right? No. I mean, it's how clothes fit, how I'm feeling. This latest, pack on of pounds occurred with 3 different medication changes, and I was getting like 11 p.m. munchies I couldn't control. You get what I'm trying to say? Right? I tried. Like, I'd be laying down sleeping. Next thing you know, I'm up walking into the kitchen. Okay, right? So if you know you do that kind of stuff, then you really want to try to have like yogurt and healthier stuff, so that if you're you're at least eating things that aren't going to be like, yeah, a little better for you than some other things. But also corticosteroids. I've been shot up a bit. Corticosteroids, and they'll often give you a moon face or hold water weight or cause fat deposits sometimes. So I can only do what I can do there, but I'm backed way off the corticosteroid shots. Because I don't really want to be loaded up full of stuff. You know what I mean? And anything, methylprednisolone, any of that kind of stuff, I can't even do without making sure that I'm off my Humira. So, of course, I can't work, people. I don't give a crap about growing my Etsy. I want to live and I want to be healthy. I want to get past this crap. But I'm not unrealistic to the fact that I might not be walking around here when I'm 70 years old. So I would like to do things I enjoy and be around people I like today. Okay? All right? I can't work full time anymore. It's insane. And apparently, there are people out there who aren't going to even let me do healthy things for myself. And they're going to badger me and bully me for no reason whatsoever, which I have plenty of evidence of online. Okay? I'm not trying to learn anything right now. I'm trying to get my life as stable as I can. And so I don't care if somebody has a problem with me. If you cannot address it with me personally, either on video or in person or whatever, then your problem is not my problem. And I never try and pull tricks on people online. Because I wouldn't want that done to myself. Get it? I'm one of those kind of people. But I do know about having a serious illness and like can't really go places and all your, yeah, you know what I mean? Probably harder for younger people, but I'm not sitting here trying to tell you this is some easy go for me. And also, yes, a special consideration, which now I have to rule out. I was not working an investigation of any kind. So that one, I can't, it wouldn't be wise of me to work this case alone by myself. Right. And for the safety of others, and just like, I don't know, man. Even if there's like a small possibility, I can't close the door on it yet. But no, I don't look pretty or doable or any other kind of crap because I haven't washed my hair in like a week. I try sometimes, but then I get tired and I lay down and then I sleep for like 3 hours and I get back up and I feel great. But the dishes have to get done and the trash needs to go out. And I don't have anybody here helping me put the heavy window air conditioners in and out or helping me move around furniture or getting up on ladders because I can't even like it steps stool this high because the likelihood that I could fall is much higher than the average human because of Meniere's disease. I didn't give any of these things to myself. I did not kill my own family, but I'm 50 years old and I don't have any direct family left on earth. You don't know what that's like, most of you. Most of you don't. You don't. And I don't really want anybody to. But there are others who might have, may know a little more about that. Bullying people online eventually will get you in legal hot water. And if certain things are not appropriately handled or there isn't, you could end up in an actual real jail or prison. So just try to keep that in mind. I have nothing to do with Etsy anymore except for the fact that I'm trying to sell off whatever it is. I need it out of my house right now. Right. I have to make room now. And I'm not putting myself through the stress of helping other Etsy sellers who have, lots that they want to clear. They lose income now too. Rose. Because I was buying mostly from Etsy sellers who had jewelry lots. I can't do that anymore because of you. Extortion is incorrect online. And trust me, if there's enough evidence accumulated from a variety of sources that may be related, you can actually have a visit from law enforcement or a legal entity serving you with papers. There are people who are well schooled and well versed on, yes, knowing whether some, text or website or information digital has been doctored. And none of that is the case with me, people. Right? But me, I'm immigrant friendly, everybody. I don't care where you come from. Right? Like, doesn't matter. I mean, our country has difficulty. Okay. But I don't just look at someone and think anything other than I'm talking to a person. Sometimes there's language barriers, but you get around each other, it's like sign language. You know what I'm saying? Right. Eventually it gets figured out. Okay. So I'm not a scary American, I'll just put it to you that way. But I actually do truly, as a human being, want everybody to be safe coming out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way I am. I mean, some people may not be that way. But I wish I could say that. but I can't. And any adults, just as a reminder, I mean, I know some people may want to go back and be teenagers. I do not. Barely survived it. But people do have to realize that younger people are not as equipped with emotional intelligence quite yet, and still are figuring things out. And, their hearts get hurt easier than those of us who've been around in life for a while. You understand? So, try to remember that, because they're not adults like you, and they don't have that experience. And so, it's, you know what I'm saying? Teenage years, I'm in love. I hate this guy. That one, my mom won't. You see what I'm saying? Right. So just kind of remember dealing with younger people that they don't know. And they don't know, but they want to swear that they do. But I can't be handling teenagers or children right now. I can't be of any assistance to anybody whatsoever right now. Okay? I get way too much stress on me, and it's unfair and wrong. So now I can't work a regular out of the house in an office or wherever job. Okay? That sucks for me. Badly sucks. Badly. But some people need to realize I don't have any kind of, I can't go to my mom or dad and ask for money, or go move back in with them, or my grandparents, or my aunts or uncles. You see? So there are some things that are just not available to me that are likely available to some of you. So don't compare yourself to me, and leave me alone online, because I will start. Yep. Sending letters, getting lawyers together. I'm sure I can find some pro bono without any issue, people. Get it? One of the situations that started happening to me around 2010 was, it happens occasionally, once or, it'll phase through my life every so often. Quite a few people, many of whom I don't know, and they refuse to identify themselves to me, seem to have big plans for my life. And I got to be honest with you. Okay? If I was 10 years old, if I was 20 years old, that would be different. But I'm a full-grown adult. I don't need big plans for my life. And I don't need people who have never been around me and don't know that much about me making any kind of decisions for my life. And I do not respond well due to security reasons. Individuals who refuse to identify themselves with their actual real name to me. Don't have to do it in public, but you do got to do it some other way. Otherwise, you are not giving me any justification to listen to you or trust you in any way. And I don't care how fucking famous you are. Get it? That's good internet security thinking. I mean, I probably have a good, concentrated, high thinking, stressful 2 hours in me. But that's gone now. Not anymore. I don't want any of that. I want to be as healthy as I can for whatever the rest of the fucking life I got. I can do road trips, but I can't do them alone. Traveling to other countries, fine. It's just that I need to plan that out really, really well, especially time changes as to when I take my medication. So that I don't do. And I don't put on a lot of makeup most of the time. I'm not really doing anything that requires that kind of stuff. But I have not been okay since like 2005. And no one seemed to give a shit about that, even though I said so. Don't think I didn't go and like talk to some mental health professionals. Don't think I didn't go to, grief and loss support groups. But what would happen is there are a lot of angry people, and I couldn't take their anger. You understand? So those support groups were of no use to me, and they actually hurt me more than they helped me. So that's why I stopped. I have every good right reason to do every single thing I do every single day, including every breath I take. Got it? So do some other people. So I'm not a hockey mind. Well, yeah, go Jets. I check in every so often. Don't worry. I check in every so often. Um, Sometimes I'll put a game on. Um, yeah, the radio C job. Yeah, C job. It's on my main screen. On my so I can just click it 680. Yeah. All I can see on the top of my page is C job. Um, so those things are helpful. Internet radio. Because then I can listen to radio broadcasts from any NHL city in both countries. Or sometimes AHL, that just depends. Sometimes there's international stuff that I may not be able to get on TV, but I can find it on, radio, internet radio. Manchester United people never get relegated. I know. I know a few fans. And they like, fuck you, Todd Rose. You know what I'm saying? All right. But Man, you never gets relegated, people. Occasionally I can't sleep. So I can catch a few uh, games at odd times in the US, um, which is kind of fun. But there are resources for people. But you actually get to go around looking for them sometimes. And I'm not really a crazy woman. That's not true. I have a situation that is unique, and because of the situation, there is a small chance it is something that is not good. So I need some investigative help from expert investigator who's not just going to jump to conclusions and who can keep things quiet. But I'm not freaked out. Understood, everybody? Not that. It's not. It needs to be something needs to be rectified, but I'm not freaked out, everybody. Okay, you understand? And I can assure everybody, if you're scared, I'm scared more. But yeah, So adults do kind of just remember sometimes, right? Like people, teens, 20s, yeah, they're still a little excitable and emotional, and it doesn't. It takes a little while to temper, and they feel things more deeply sometimes. So I'm glad I'm an adult. I like being an adult. I don't care if I'm getting older. I don't care if I got see see that liver spots, age spots. Some medications will actually cause this white spots, no pigment. Um, so I don't care. I'm spotted. I'm mottled. Yes, I'm mottled, right? I don't care about that stuff. I know. Oh, if you really got close up, but I always have these puffy little, and I don't know what to do about them. I've had them for years, and I don't care. Yeah, it gets to a certain point. Like, oh well, it's part of my face. If you don't like it, go away. You don't have to look at it. Okay. So being hard on me or trying to teach me some kind of lesson is going to put you in jail if you don't fucking stop. Please. Right. I don't want a stressful job, people. Because I can't work. And I was just trying to do something to help and to maneuver some stuff that, so it wouldn't go in the trash. I don't give a shit you're disappointed in that. You don't know, and you're clueless, and we're not friends, so who cares? But the individuals who were giving me reviews on Etsy that didn't reflect anything to do with what I actually put in my description, you understand? Collectively, all of you have now also taken income away from other Etsy sellers as well, to sell lots that I will buy to make a less expensive. You see what I'm saying? Option that are cleaned and yes. So anyone who gave me unfair reviews out loud that had nothing to do with what I was actually describing you are now all collectively responsible for also removing guaranteed income from some of the other sellers who I buy from too. I hope you're feeling good and happy about yourselves. Yeah, go celebrate that. High five. I have no time for people like that. Teach your children better, human beings. Please. Mine died. I didn't kill him. I can't drag him into some place and say, but my kids, we don't. I'm keeping everything as evidence. Everybody needs to understand that. I'm not out to get anybody. I'm just simply saying that all those people who collectively were, and it had nothing to do with my description, which I took great care to revise and make sure, okay. Okay, wearable. What wearable means is not broken. So I hope that helps. Some Etsy buyers still at it. Like, that's what wearable means. It means not broken. But there are Etsy sellers who I was buying lots from as right, but I mean I would try anyone that could fit in a budget, you understand? That I could get right to just keep stock because I had to check all of it. And some of it's already checked, so that's good. Right. And even if it says, like, even if I get a lot that says there's no broken and there's a few little, I don't care. Right. Like, that doesn't, I'll still give them a 5 if it came as described and it was, right. Yeah, I know stuff gets disheveled when you're, yeah. So I don't have, too many issues with certain things, but there are a lot of jewelry, like clearance and lot sellers on Etsy who I've bought from. And I want to continue to do that. But I'm not going to be bullied and badgered. And an individual has no business experience and doesn't know anything about my life, has no business. Like, I don't know what the plan is, but it's going to backfire on you. And what you did was basically, right, take income away from all those jewelry lot sellers. Rose. Got it? I cannot handle giving people free shit or having people make up a bunch of stuff and tell me that, right, you get what I'm saying? Plus, less stimulation to the economy. Get it? So I apologize to the Etsy sellers who, do lots. I'd have kept going. And, depending on what I need, will depend on what I buy. But I mean, I bought from so many, right? Some of them aren't even online anymore. I think I bought them out. I don't even know. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So whatever. But it helps them clear all of their, like, old stock or stock that people aren't. You know what I'm saying? So every single person who gave me a review that was not based on the actual description are collectively responsible for shutting down a charity, causing harm to a single female with no family who has a very serious illness, and taking away income from lot sellers. Congratulations. Not a good plan. But I'm not going to put up with it. Okay, I got out what I need to get out when it comes to anomalous researchers. All right, it's there. You see what I'm saying? So for preparedness, anybody who is an investigator or researcher who does want to, fine. Just that was the best I could do to try and catch up, but then activity started again. And I was not happy, obviously, but at least I got it while my camera was on. So I'm not making things up, as you can see. And I do those tests. There's no chance in hell there's a loose wire anywhere near that, like that one. Man, that was bang, bang, bang with the broom to try and loosen, the ceiling. And I was whacking a little bit. I didn't want to break the lamp, but I was whacking a little bit at the, the shade, the bulb. Not a single flicker. So highly doubt any kind of loose wire situation. And no one lives upstairs, so there's no one walking, you know what I'm saying? So I do all these things before I even sometimes will mention them. I've already said what I had to say about that. And they do need help. But another situation, and I don't know, apparently somebody just swears they're going to give me some kind of fucking hug and not let go. But I've been hearing that for 12 years. And now it's in writing, and it's still like, okay, well, apparently that's not going to happen. Don't be fucking around with me. It's rude and obnoxious. And I'll get fucking Interpol involved if I freaking have to. Like, everybody should get to know your own selves really, really well before you start worrying about anybody else. And I'm not here to try and fix people. And I don't want the fixers anywhere near me. They don't know what they're doing. I'm not a medical doctor. I say that. I mean it. I was willing to help out by fast tracking some kind of certification so that in the state of Maryland I could actually take insurance, but not anymore. And I'm not doing any of that for anybody. Because crappy, ignorant people online like to cheat, steal, hack, whack, lie to old people, lie to young people, lie to themselves, and maneuver shit and steal from the poor. Yeah, our world needs some freaking help, wouldn't you say? I don't want anybody writing anything to me or saying anything to me that even seems like a promise. Because most of the time, it's just done hurtfully. And I'm not taking it in. I'm going to ignore it. And unless somebody can show up here in a person, okay, there's very little I can do. I'm not a miracle worker and I'm not an angel. So let's all get that straight in our heads. I am a little human woman whose entire family is gone. And it's holiday season. Sometimes I just don't have strength to go to someone else's house with a bunch of family and strangers. They're really loud and they don't understand that I have a condition that I need to be careful about. And so that doesn't make me any less Christian, you bobos. Close your mouths. And keep them closed, please. I mean, I can cook. I do like to cook sometimes, but I don't do it for myself. It's too much. This time of year, this is too hard for me to get through alone. And there are all kinds of crappy people using religion to hurt people, and you need to stop and go away from me and never bother me again. Especially loudmouth, uppity, self-righteous Christians. who say stupid things to me like, well, who's going to save you if you don't have a Christmas tree? What the hell is a Christmas tree going to do for me? It's not about a damn Christmas tree. Well, I think some of these Christians are not very well educated, and some of them may not even be Christians. But none of you got a right to say boo to me. You couldn't be compassionate enough to understand if someone whose entire family is dead, you understand, might have some problems adjusting during the family holidays. Someone's so concerned about the fact that I don't have a Christmas tree, you could have gone out and bought me one. Be quiet. Some of you. Keep your mouths closed. Some of us who don't have family for whatever reason at all because they're deceased, right? It's not easy to go somewhere because someone invites you to like a holiday meal. I've done that. But I'm still recovering from an acute form of post-traumatic stress. It's much better now. Okay? But I can't just have, like, I have to be careful what I eat. I gotta take meds. I can't, be around a bunch of grabby, touchy people who I don't know sometimes. I wanted to get married. Something back years ago. And I was all prepared for that. But he passed away before we could get married. So I wasn't just going to go on the rebound and jump on the first dick I see. Okay? That's the wrong way to go. People need to recover from their relationships and shit like that before they start doing things. So because I'm, kind enough and careful enough and aware enough as a person, like, okay, well, I'm not going to be in any, intimate relationship anytime soon because now I got to get over all that. I didn't get gifts, wedding gifts. I didn't get money. I didn't get to move into the house that I was supposed to move into for the rest of my life. I had to get over that. I had to be good with it. I had to be healed from it because I wasn't going to be dragging that all around some poor man that I might, right? Like, I'm not going to be dragging that all around or subjecting anyone else to it in a new situation. You understand? Because I took the time to do that. Right. I'm the bad guy. To some of you. And I don't give a fuck how anybody feels about it. That's the right thing to do. You gotta heal from some crap, people. I was not emotionally available. So I wasn't putting my shit all out there like I was. I decided I might just, it was okay enough. I'm like, try to give love another chance. And then I got attacked ruthlessly and relentlessly. So I have to say to some males that there have been I'm around a lot of males. Just the certain kind of work that I do is mostly male oriented, is all. right? That doesn't mean there aren't women in the field, right? Okay, but I listen to men all the time. Like, I've been listening to you fellas since I was a little kid. Okay, I actually listen actively, not passive, actively, and I can understand some things, but I've had some males who do tend to like to pride themselves on the thought, anyway, that males are protective of women and children. And unfortunately, that is not a true statement. Not all males are. You understand? Some people will just show interest or pretend to be protective just so that they can put their penis somewhere. I'm not into that. Go somewhere else. You won't have success. But I'm fully healed from all that. Okay? And then so I decided, all right, I think I can handle, right? I think I'm good to go. I might be able to. I'm all healed from that. And then I get fucking attacked. What's the universe trying to tell me? I need someone to quite literally interpret what the universe is trying to tell me, because I'm not getting it at all. Because I do that, okay? And I'm 50. And there are people who've been married 4 or 5 times. I haven't been married once. And there are other people whose families are just deceased. Okay? It's not because we're separated by distance that way. It's not because we don't like each other. It's because they're dead. And I have a hard time this time of year. You know, people are trying to cheer you up. Ah, come on. Why don't you smile? Oh. Like, if my face is like this, I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay? Nothing's really bothering me. If you see my face like this, it means I'm fine. Okay? So, God Cares Ministries Limited, Elton, Maryland, will be dissolved officially by January 1st, 2023. And unless there is a person willing to completely take it over, that's what's going to happen. So that's less stress for me, for sure. But I did take the time to set up a bank account that is very difficult to steal from when it comes to charity money. Okay? Because I care about that. Right? Don't want people, right, who don't have those needs or who just want to be, players. Spreading their seed, but nobody's taking care of their babies, so you lose. By the way, so anybody who doesn't get that, I don't care. Okay, I just don't care. But when stuff happens, you do actually have to take time to try and recover from it and be healed from it. Okay, because it's best to do that. It's kind to the next person you date, or the next person, or the person that you met. You see what I'm saying? Right. I'm not taking hits because I do things appropriately in a caring manner, caring and understanding manner. And I hate big parties anyway. I don't mind I can be around thousands of people, hundreds of thousands. Yeah, people see me, hockey games, concerts, whatever. That stuff is not an issue for me, thankfully. Okay. But it does become, right, post traumatic stress. And, right, I need someone else to go with me in case I have a little bit of situation. Like, I can't do things on my own anymore at all. There are a lot of people who feel like the best way to go about things is to hurt someone else the way they've been hurt. And that's not going to help you the way you think it is. And it isn't kind to an innocent person who didn't do anything to you. Get it? So, everything having to do with anomalous research, it's here, right? So, I do need some very knowledgeable. Okay, I'm not having a freak out, but I kind of need some help with this one. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else, my stress level is going to go down drastically. Okay. And I don't even care if it's the best doctor on the planet. If I can't get a ride and I'm not feeling well and I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to get there healthily and safely, I'm not coming. And if you won't do, tell doc, phone, or video, then you're not useful to the vast majority of human people who need doctoring. So I don't really have a great deal of respect for that. No matter what kind of fucking degrees you got. A lot of things can be done this way. And sometimes the general practitioner or someone who can do like a physical can do that locally. And then, yes, if you're not willing, if Johns Hopkins just refuses to work with a little woman who has no family, and I don't drive because it's safe except for I never know when a situation might arise where I will have a sudden drop in blood pressure, and in which case I cannot hold on to a steering wheel. Get it? I'm not going to put my life or anyone else's life on the line. And if you assholes think pressuring somebody to do that is a good idea, yeah, I hope you fall in every hole along the way. But everybody else, just once a day, get it? And try to be as kind as you can to people anyway. Can't hit the mark every day, I get it. No worries. But everybody take care, okay? Please.